What's up, everybody? It's Reclaimer, and welcome back to Age of Reclamation, or the Age of Reclamation, whatever. It's either age. There might be a the. I don't know. The makes it sound a little bit more official, but either way, we're back, man. It has been a hot minute since I've done this series, and I was thinking about it the other day, and I realized that I really wanted to like continue doing this kind of thing, right? Because I really enjoy this sort of content where it's a little bit more relaxed. It's not as stream highlight-y or as serious or sweaty or whatever. We're just kicking back, we're playing some video games, we're enjoying some Halo, in this case some classic Halo, and we're enjoying some video games, and we're just kind of talking, you know, just kind of me and you guys, a little bit more chill.
What is it? That stench, I've smelled it before.
So we're back today. This isn't the Arbiter. What's the mission? What's this called again? It's called the Oracle. Okay, this is the one right after the Arbiter. So obviously back with some more Halo 2 campaign. This is where we left off. The last episode of this series that I did was like pre-Orlando, maybe, I want to say. Maybe right after Orlando. I don't know, man. It has been a while since I've done this series, but yeah, man, I wanted to get back to doing stuff like this, and there are a few things that I want to talk about today. So I think it should be an interesting one. So for those of you that maybe are new since the last time I did this, every now and then I like to enjoy some sort of different kinds of videos and some different kinds of games and whatever else. I'm not just a super sweaty, competitive, try-hard kind of player. I also enjoy the classic Halo and some different kinds of games, and sometimes every now and then just chilling out and playing some different stuff. Especially as of recent, I've been enjoying, on stream, I've been enjoying some different kinds of games, and you know, we've been playing Call of Duty and some horror games and just really enjoying different kinds of things. So if you're new, since the last time I did one of these episodes, because like I said, it has been a while, and we just passed 4,000 subscribers, by the way. So really quickly, I just wanted to say thank you to you guys for that. 4,000 subscribers is a pretty lit number, and it's a number that I did not expect to reach. And oh shit, oh, this is the one where the fucking flood shows up. God, I forgot. I kind of hate this mission. But yeah. So really quick, just wanted to say thank you for 4,000 subscribers. We're really getting up there, man. We're really the factor continues to grow every single day. So yeah, real quick, I just want to plug the all of the other social media and stuff. So I would say, because I've been streaming a ton, link is in the description of my Twitch. I really encourage you guys to hang out live with me, because it is a ton of fun and we get up to some crazy shit. And also, following me on Twitter, best way to keep up to date with me and shit, whatever I'm doing, whenever I go live, whenever I put a new video. Join the Discord, because my Discord server was, and continues to stay lit 24/7. We've got all kinds of cool shit going on, and if you ever want to meet some like-minded people, I've got a ton of cool people in there. Go check out the Discord, man. Got some cool people in there, and it's a good way to hang out, a good way to talk to me. So yeah, I'd recommend doing that. Links are in the description to all this stuff, by the way. Merchandise, obviously, is still going on if you want any kinds of cool Reclaimer or Chaotix themed merchandise. T-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, long sleeve shirts, fucking phone cases. We've got all kinds of shit for sale. High quality shit, reasonably priced. God, is there anything else I need to plug while we're selling out? I don't think there's anything else I need to plug. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, just go check out the description. We've got all kinds of shit in the description. Follow me on Instagram if you want. Yeah, just all kinds of shit down there. So go check all that stuff out. But yeah, man, shit has been like really fun as of recent. I don't know. I went through a little bit of a rough patch for a couple weeks where I just like, I don't know, man. I wasn't like enjoying things, and like my motivation was kind of killed, and like I even went to the CX house for a little bit, which, by the way, I'm like in the process of moving. Everybody seems to be super confused about that. I'm in the process of moving to the CX house. I was there for a few weeks, and then I'm home for a few weeks just because I've got some family shit to deal with, and I'm gonna go be a counselor at a summer camp in a little less than a week. And then yeah, I'm gonna be here for a couple weeks before I move to Georgia permanently to go live with the Chaotix guys. And so yeah, just to touch on that real quick, because I know a lot of people were confused about that, because like I was finally in the Chaotix house, and like I was like, yeah, I'm here, and then I was home all of a sudden, and everybody was really confused. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. That's kind of the plan as of right now. And I also wanted to let you guys know, there's no like super set in stone thing like I'm moving there on this date, and you know, it's nothing official. It's just kind of like, at the moment, I don't have a job other than like YouTube and Twitch, and so there's really like there's nothing aside from like I have to go do the summer camp, and then I'm probably gonna try to stick around for like my brother's first day of school because it's gonna be his first day of high school, so I'm probably gonna try to stick around for that, and I've got some more family shit going on, but aside from that, there's no schedule or like anything that I have to you know, be present in either Georgia or Tennessee for. So it's just like I'm kind of just like doing my own thing, playing it by ear, kind of winging it, if you will. Yeah, just know that shit's gonna happen at some point. But yeah, fuck. Is that it in terms of updates? I don't know, man. Really quick to touch on the Microsoft Store thing though, because I know a lot of people were like, I was like super excited because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the Microsoft Store and I'm gonna play in the FFA and shit. And I had like a bunch of friends that were supposed to go with me, and it was gonna be a cool time. And then like the night before, that Saturday before, I got to bed around like 12:30 or 1 a.m. You know, not too late at all. And I ended up laying in bed awake for like 4 hours, and then just like got sick and ended up super sick the next day, and like I almost wasn't able to stream the next day, and it was, I don't know, man, it was bad. I was like, I'm not trying to get too into detail here, but I was throwing up, and it was not a fun time. So I ended up having to bail the Microsoft Store tournament, which was pretty shitty. I was actually really excited to go because I was gonna try to, obviously I was gonna go there and try to compete, and I was gonna try to vlog, and I was gonna like, I don't know, hopefully meet some people and just hang out with my friends, and it was gonna be a fun time, and unfortunately I had to bail on that. So yeah, it was kind of shitty, but yeah, man. I think so one of the things that I really wanted to talk about today was I wanted to touch on change again. If you guys remember, a couple, shit, man, it was like maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I did a real talk video, which are every now and then I like to do those real talk videos where sort of the same format as this, not necessarily you know, the campaign stuff, but every now and then I just sort of like to sit down and talk about, you know, a certain, you know, just any certain subject. Most of the time I'll go to my Discord server and ask what people would want to hear me talk about, and so I can sort of give my opinion and really any advice. Maybe I want to be really careful whenever I say that I won't give advice, because obviously I'm 18 years old, haven't experienced a whole lot of shit when it comes to life and living and all kinds of stuff. So I haven't, like, obviously there are several experiences, and when I say several, I mean like several experiences that I haven't experienced yet because I'm 18 years old, and you know, all this is pretty obvious. But yeah, I consider myself to be a relatively intelligent dude, and I don't know, man. I feel like I'm pretty well spoken, and I feel sort of an obligation to, like, I have a platform, however big or small it is, to talk to people and try to be sort of a like an uplifting source, and want to do my best to spread positivity and shit. So every now and then I like to do those real talk videos. That was really long-winded. I apologize. I'm still not very good at it, being concise and shit. So. But every now and then, I like to do those sort of real talk videos. And so I did one on change about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago, where basically I talked about how, like, shit was crazy, because I was graduating high school, and I was, like, I'm planning to move, and, like, shit's fucking crazy, because I've got all this stuff going on, and, like, I'm trying to get settled into this certain career path, which is, like, super cool, and, like, I'm meeting cool people and traveling cool places, but, like, also I have to go, like, way out of my comfort zone, because I'm somebody who really, wow, the fuck did I die so quick? Anyway, I'm somebody who really appreciates, like, a routine and, like, you know, getting into your own personal groove and, like, being in your comfort zone, right? And so, like, waking up in this room, in this house, with the people around me that I have around me, has gotten really comfortable, because obviously I've been doing the same thing for, like, 11 years, however long I've lived in Tennessee. And so yeah, the idea, like the notion of moving somewhere completely foreign, with obviously with 3 or 4 of my best friends who are people that I love to death. Obviously with that being exciting, but like the notion of like moving somewhere foreign, and interacting with different people and different places and shit, just having like a completely different day-to-day life was like pretty scary for me, because obviously I'm just a kid. I'm not planning on going to college at the moment, and so shit's, I don't know, man, shit's kind of scary to think that, like, all of a sudden in one day, like my life is going to completely change, my day-to-day life anyway. So it's, I don't know, man, it's kind of scary to think about that, but yeah, man, I just sort of wanted to address change in a different form in this video, in that, like, how I guess how weird it is. I don't know, man. There's not really like a point, like a takeaway from it, I don't think, but aside from maybe moving forward and how that's a positive thing. But I've been watching a lot of, it started with, like, I got a question on stream about, like, who, like, my favorite YouTube creator of all time was. Holy fuck, I got melted. It started with, like, a question, I got on stream, somebody asked me who my favorite YouTube creator of all time was. And I said Excalizors, which is a name that not a lot of people are going to recognize. Because Excal is, I mean, he's a relatively well-known YouTuber, but, you know, not famous by, especially by today's standards on YouTube, where we have people like, you know, you have the people like, you know, the FaZe guys and like RiceGum and like, I don't know, fuck, who else? Like, you know what I'm talking about when I say like famous YouTubers, people like Ninja, right? Who are like more almost mainstream celebrities. But he was one of the OG YouTubers. If you guys aren't aware, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a history lesson real quick, because believe it or not, even though I'm 18 years old, I was around for this shit. Back when gameplay videos started on YouTube, there were like 3 people who did it before anybody else. Like before we had Minecraft and Fortnite, and before streaming was a thing, before gaming videos on YouTube existed, period, there were like 3 people that did it, and it was Blame Truth, Hutch, and Excalizors were like among the first 3 people who ever put gaming videos on YouTube, especially in the, we referred to them back then as commentaries, but in the personality format, you know, where it's not just raw gameplay, but it is a person talking over it. And so, for those of you that weren't around for that, essentially how it went down was like those 3 people did it, and from that, you had a bunch of different people, like CNanners came from Call of Duty YouTube, and companies like Machinima, and by extension Machinima Respawn, and like that whole everything that came from that. And then obviously gaming on YouTube exploded into what it is today, and now we have things like Twitch and streaming, and people are like I said, people are becoming less YouTubers and more like mainstream celebrities. But back then, Excal was one of the OG YouTubers, like I said, and was somebody that I watched like religiously, which made me think about, and it sort of sparked a discussion in my chat. Where the fuck is everyone? Am I just supposed to wait? Anyway, there's some little fucking tiny flood form that I have to kill somewhere that's like, okay, thank you, we needed a fucking checkpoint. Yeah. Back in, I would say from like, it sort of sparked this discussion in my stream where from like probably 2007 to 2011 or 12, gaming was at a really different time period where everything was because I feel like gaming now, everybody's much more critical, for better or for worse. But gaming for the most part back then was like everything that was happening in the moment was the most exciting thing ever. And you know, I talked about like back when games like Black Ops 1 and Halo Reach were the main titles for Call of Duty and Halo. I would go to school in middle school, and me and my friends would talk about playing Halo all day long, and then go home and play Halo all night long. And it was just the most exciting thing in the world for everybody. And whenever you got into a YouTube creator, at least from my personal experience, you got into them hard. And so I watched a lot of those people, you know, Excal, Hutch, CNanners, Stark, like Machinima Respawn. I watched all of that fucking religiously, and like did not stop until literally they stopped doing it, right? And so it like, it's weird to think now that like everything, like I said, I touched on the fact that everything's much more critical these days, and like I'm not gonna say whether or not I think that's a good or a bad thing. I mean, obviously I feel like gaming should evolve and things should get better and become more high quality, but like I feel like a lot of today is creators and influencers and players at large complaining about games, and there being like big scandals and like fucking everybody is bitching about everything and microtransactions and fucking shady companies and whatever else. And like I said, I feel like we should obviously hold development companies to a certain standard, but it's like I don't know, man. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from when I say that shit's just like different now, right? Not necessarily better, not necessarily worse, but just like just fucking different, right? So yeah, it's, I don't know. There's, like I said, there's not really a huge takeaway from that. It's just, it's different. And so it's like, it's weird to look back on what content, in terms of gaming content, used to be on YouTube, because I started doing YouTube back in like 2009. Like, believe it or not, like, I, as, quite literally, as a 9-year-old, started doing YouTube back when the original people, by the original people, I mean the original creators. We touched on this already. Back when like they were doing it and when it was like insane and like the biggest thing ever and whatever. And like it evolved. If you guys were around back then, and you know like what like the term gameplay commentary was what was used to describe gaming videos back then, because what it would be was like, for the most part, this was, everybody followed this formula to a T, which was you play a game, whether it be Halo or Call of Duty, and you record, and you basically keep playing until you get a game that you think is good or impressive or unique in some way, and then you throw it into Sony Vegas and you talk over it, and you talk about any given subjects. Most of the time people would, I mean, this is where the commentary portion of it came in, but sometimes you would give like advice or tips or like talk about what you were doing or thinking in that game. But other times it would be like stories or, you know, random topics or whatever. And so people didn't use face cams. Most of it, like everything was recorded. Everything was like recorded in post. Like shit was really different back then. It took like, there was an explosion, I don't know, probably 2011 or 12 of what were called live commentaries, which were literally like, it was the same thing but live. And so I don't know, man, it's weird to think about how different shit was back then and how shit changed, because it turned from post commentaries into live commentaries, into live commentaries with face cams, into like streamers, and then like Justin TV turned into Twitch TV and got super popular, and then streaming became a thing around, streaming became like a huge thing around like 2013, 2014. And I don't know, man, it's like I said, I feel like I'm kind of just rambling, I mean, because I am, but there's no like big like takeaway or advice or whatever from that. It's just interesting to see how things have changed and how things have progressed from what they used to be, because like I said, though I'm 18 years old, I have been around for like the entirety of gaming shit on YouTube. And I have experienced just about every different iteration of what it means to be a gameplay content creator. Or a gaming content creator, I guess. So, I don't know, man. It's weird. Weird, it's interesting. And it's cool to see where things have progressed to, because everything has become far more business-like. I think everybody notices this, how instead of just playing video games in front of people now, it has turned into, you know, people do it on schedules and have original shows, and you know, there's all sorts of partnerships and sponsorships and different things involved with it, and people sell merchandise, and people do this as like their actual career, which like, it's really cool to see. I mean, like, it sucks. It's like one thing that we did, one thing that is really interesting to see as the internet and gaming content in particular has become more mainstream is like just how much we've had to clean up our act. Because if you're one of those people that's been around since the beginning of gaming content, you'll know that like whenever this shit started, like you could get away with literally anything because it was the internet. Like you could say any kind of like fucked, and well, I guess it's also society has changed since then as well, but you could get away with anything back then. You could say whatever, like you could be racist, sexist, profane. Like you could get away with literally whatever you wanted, and nobody gave half a shit because it was the internet, and because that's just, you know, that's just the way that the internet was, and everybody just kind of dealt with it. So I don't know, it's really interesting to see, especially because I was a huge fan. I touched on this earlier, but I was a huge fan of Machinima Respawn back in the day, which for those of you who don't know, basically Mr. Sark, who still does YouTube today, I think, aside from CNAers, I don't know what the fuck CNAers does, but he did YouTube for a really long time. Still might, I don't know, I haven't really kept up to date with him, but I know Sark and Hutch still do YouTube and stream and shit. But back in the day, a guy named Mr. Sark worked on, I believe it was called X-Play, it was like a gaming show on G4, and he moved to Machinima, which I think, I feel like Machinima now is like associated with, you know, being stupid and shitty and corrupt and whatever else. But like back in the day, back when shit wasn't, I'm kind of repeating myself here, but like shit was different. Machinima was like this super type, like new, interesting, like production company, and oh shit, I always forget I have to shut up during cutscenes. Also, I can't tell if you guys have noticed, but I pretty much exclusively play on the classic graphics and then watch the anniversary cutscenes, just because that's the way I like to do it. But, yeah. Anyway, Sark comes over from G4 and starts this show called Machinima Respawn, which is where they like. I believe the whole premise of it was to, basically expose and promote different creators and different kinds of content throughout the community, and so have like a central hub where you could like promote all sorts of different people and stuff like that. And so, but it became like this bigger thing where like they ended up bringing Hutch on board, and then CNAers after that, and it became like this almost like comedy show, right? And it turned into this super special thing that a bunch of people cared about, me included. Was like this super special thing that everybody looked forward to every single day. But watching that now, because there's a compilation, I believe I posted it in my Discord server. There's a compilation called The Legend of Mr. Sark, which is basically, it's like there's like a 3-hour compilation, and then there's like another 5-hour one, and it's basically just like a huge compilation of all of like the funniest and best moments from like that whole Machinima Respawn run that lasted from like 2009 to 2013, I believe. And watching it just the other day is like, obviously, I mean, that shit's still just as funny as I remembered it, but also it's like, shit was, for lack of a better word, shit was crazy. Shit was like mad inappropriate back then, and so it was like we were talking about, is like you could not get away with, you know, 10% of the shit that they did back then today. Holy fuck, dude, I literally couldn't see because of the needles in my face. But I don't know, man, it's still interesting. If you're not somebody who's, I'm not somebody who's easily offended by profanity or by, I don't know, I don't want this to sound shitty, but I'm not somebody who's like offended by profanity or like racist jokes or anything, just because that's the kind of person that I am, I guess. Not that I'm racist or anything. Wow, I need to be careful how I phrase this. Holy shit. Yeah, not that I'm necessarily, you know, a super shitty person, but I can enjoy certain things in the field of comedy, I guess. I don't know, man. I'm thinking about this. I should probably be super careful how I phrase this, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm a super shitty person. But like, I mean, I think you guys will be able to understand, is like, there are certain things that you can enjoy in a comedic context that you know is like super inappropriate. I don't know, man. Obviously I can still enjoy shit like that. So yeah, I don't know, man. For those of you that weren't around back then, like I said, if you're easily offended, you might want to stay away from it. But for those of you that weren't around back then, or maybe if you're too young to remember it, or you missed it over it or whatever, I would recommend going and checking out that in particular. That whole Machinima Respawn crew was really special to me, and so I would recommend going and checking out some of that shit, because it is crazy entertaining. And it really, like, the difference back then was that people didn't do it for, I mean, obviously it was like their job and shit, but you could tell that there was like a different level of passion that, like, I'm not gonna say doesn't exist today, but is very rare today. Like, there are a few people around today, I feel like, who are truly passionate about what they do and think that what they're doing is the coolest and funniest thing ever, and so put their all into it, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, I don't know. I really miss the way that YouTube and content used to be. Just, what the fuck, man? I'm literally getting fucked in the ass. I literally can't get past this one room. Thank God I got a better checkpoint. But yeah, I would recommend going and checking some of that stuff out, because it's, I don't know, man, it's just awesome. But like I said, you might want to avoid it if you're easily offended, because there is some fucked up stuff that is said in those videos, just because that's the way the internet was back then, man. But yeah, like I said, I've just been rambling about this shit forever, but like I said, there's no big takeaway or advice or message in this video. Rather, just sort of a comment on how interesting it is to see the progression of things, especially the gaming community on YouTube. So, I don't know, man. I feel privileged, pretty uniquely privileged, to be the age that I am, and to have experienced as much of what is largely referred to as like the golden age of YouTube and content, where everybody did it for fun and not necessarily for money. Not that that's a bad thing, because I do a lot of things that I do today for money, but, like, I mean, you know what I mean.
Arbiter, I would rather die by your hand than let the prophets lead me to slaughter. Who has taught you these lies? The Oracle.
Hello, I am 343 Guilty Spark. I am the monitor of Installation 04.
Ask the Oracle about Halo. How they would sacrifice us all for nothing.
More questions? Splendid. I would be happy to assist you.
The elites are blind, Arbiter. But I will make them see.
This was another little innovation that Halo 2 made to the original Halo 1 formula, which was boss fights. I mean, obviously I don't think these were executed to perfection necessarily, because these boss fights are all a little weird and clunky and kind of shitty, but like it was definitely a break in the formula. Yo, let me suck your ass, brother. Oh shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, and as I've said multiple times, I feel like I'm gonna be really careful to not repeat myself 20,000 times in this video, but there's no big takeaway or message in this video. Just sort of a commentary, I guess, on how interesting it is that shit has changed in the ways that it has. So I'd recommend going and checking out different YouTube videos and shit from back in the day, because it's truly interesting to see the progression of things. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's basically it. Good timing, because we just wrapped up here. But yeah, man, either way, I love gaming. I love creating content, so I'm gonna keep doing my thing and shit. It's just interesting to look back every now and then. So, but yeah, that was the Oracle. We are. I believe the next episode is gonna be Delta Halo. But yeah, we're back doing Age of Reclamation. I'm gonna continue this series, and I'm definitely going to be looking to other forms of content and other games, especially for like for expansion, because I definitely want to sort of expand my horizons and shit and try different stuff. And but yeah, that's gonna do it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Likes are appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. Much respect as always. I love each and every single one of you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.